Alright, can we start?
Yes, we can start.
Yeah, we can start. Uh,
Alright.
let's start with the introduction first. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AFIQ WAJDI bin Halil, but you can call me AFIQ. And this is my friend.
And my name is ORVIN, anak kepada Osman. I'm orang asli.
So we are from College
Yeah.
Professional Mara Seri Iskandar, and we would like to conduct an interview with you. So may you introduce yourself?
Waalaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Jan Adam Said, and I'm from Mozambique. And I'm also a UTP student, as you know. I'm literally a mechanical engineering student.
So can you tell us more about your background, Mr. Adam?
Yes, I can. My background is an African background, right? So when it comes to the culture as well as the language spoken over there, a little bit different. The culture is like we are more likely to, or we love a lot of uh, some some African foods, right? That do not exist over here in Asia, right? So we call them as uh, porridge and so on. We have some maize and some food made from maize and so on. Yes.
I see. Raikal, please mute if you don't have anything to say, okay?
Alright.
Okay,
Sorry
so
for the problem.
okay, so
By
let's
the
go.
way, let me ask you
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
ask you something. Is there an interview related to the background or this question that have been written here?
Can you repeat? We actually, Mr. Adam, we can really hear you because it sounds so
Okay.
like the mic is very unclear.
Okay. Let me try to.
What I'm trying to ask you is that is this interview related to background or language semantics and pragmatics, as it says here?
Yeah. This is the subject for our pragmatic subject, and we would like to explore more culture, and we would love to have a view on your culture and the differentiation that it
You're on
has.
your culture.
Yeah. And okay, so can we go to
Okay.
the first question?
Yes, I think so. We can go.
All right. Okay. So for the first question is, have you ever faced a situation where your words were misunderstood due to the differences in language interpretation in Malaysia?
Yes, I have. One day I was in a mart, right, in order to purchase something, and I found a lady who cannot speak English well. So that was challenging for me to interact with her. I tried to ask for something, and she could not understand what I was trying to mean, right? So in this case, when there is a barrier language, it's very, very, very daunting to communicate with people.
So the lady could understand you, so you having a hard time to have your things to go on, right?
Yeah, she's not fluent in English, right?
Yeah.
Or in other words, she cannot speak English well, right? So that was a bit challenging for me to interact with her. I would have to call someone else to let her know what I needed.
So you having struggling for that in that situation. Okay, I see.
Yes, that's the
So for the second question is, have you experienced challenge when communicating with professor or peers? And if so, how did you adapt to it?
As for this case, I've never faced such a case. I communicate with them fluently as they can also express themselves fluently in English. So I would say it's flawlessly to communicate with them.
Oh, so majority of the people in your university can really speak English really well. So you don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah, of course.
So
That's exactly correct.
I think that is a great help for you, right? Because you don't have to deal with anything hard, just like the supermarket one.
Yeah. Of course, of course. Of course. Yes.
Alright, moving on to the next question. Have you encountered situation where slang commonly used in your culture was misunderstood by the others? And how do you deal with this kind of situation?
Yeah, of course. I've faced such cases. For instance, in informal communication, my friends and I usually use these slangs in Portuguese, right, as my official language. So sometimes I cannot understand them, and if that happens, I usually ask them what they mean, right, so that I can understand accurately what they are trying to say.
Oh. So like they don't understand you, but also they are misunderstood your intention to while you're talking to them.
Uh, no, it's the opposite, right?
Oh,
When
it's
they
the opposite.
speak to me, or when they
Oh,
talk when they talk to me, right? So they use some slangs terms that I cannot understand, and in this case, I usually ask them what they try to mean with the expression that they use.
Uh, so
oh, I understand.
so would you
So
what is the slang? I would like to know the slang that you use with your friend in Portuguese.
For instance, we say beleza. Beleza is like a beauty, right? This one
Oh,
is a Portuguese word, which
uh-huh.
means beleza means like it's all good, right? So in this case, it's a little bit challenging, but it's commonly used in Brazilian Portuguese, right?
Uh,
We as we use the European one, so for us it's a little bit. Some of my friends use it, so I cannot understand them sometimes when they use it. So as they have told me the meaning of it, so it's a little bit easier for me to use it to understand them when they use it currently. But
uh,
previously I could not understand it.
okay, so now it's easier for you because now you have understand the slang.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, all right, okay. So
right, understand.
I would love to learn some Portuguese. Okay, but
Yeah, you can learn, you can learn it. It's very
it
easy
sounds
to
so
learn it.
yeah, it sounds cool. Okay, now
Yeah,
we're
of course,
going
of
for
course.
the
Sounds
next question. Do you often find yourself in situation where your action or gesture might lead to misunderstanding? As we may know, Nigerian also have a hand gesture, which is non-verbal gesture, so that they have intent to communicate. And then, how do you handle them?
uh, of course, as we all know that gestures have different meaning according to
Yes,
their
yes,
place or according to the region, right? Some
yes.
gestures used here in Malaysia could mean something else
In other
differently
different culture.
from my country. For instance, in this case, I do not use gesture when it comes to communicating with people. I do use them, but not a lot. I would say, right?
Yeah.
So using them a lot can really confuse some people, right? Because some gestures can also mean something else over here in Malaysia. So I try or I avoid using them. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that I cannot confuse people. Yeah,
Mm.
so much.
Because in Malaysia also have a lot of hand gestures. I learned some gestures through when one time I scrolled through my TikToks and I learned a gestures from Nigeria. It's like when he met, he do like this, right?
Yes.
So it's like you are mad at
Yes, I
them
understand.
and you want to come and you want to do something bad at them because they are mad at you, right?
Yes. So that's exactly what I meant, right? So
Yeah,
gestures have different meaning according to
their
region,
country.
right? According to
Mhm.
the regions.
But
Yeah.
in Malaysia, if you met someone, you're going to do like this. Also, right? But this is also one of a Nigerian gesture, right?
Yes, I believe I'm not from Nigeria, so
Oh, you're not
I
from
don't
Nigeria.
know exactly.
I thought you were
I'm
from
Mozambican. I'm from
Mo-
Mozambique. Mozambique.
Mozambique. Oh,
Okay.
So, oh my god, but since we cannot see your hand gesture movement,
Expression.
so
Expression.
we're going to go
It's
with
okay,
the
it's
next
okay, it's
question.
okay. No,
Please.
I do see you guys. I do see you guys. No, no
Alright,
worries.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so for the next question, in Malaysia, have you noticed any specific phrases or expression that carry different meanings than in your home country? And how did you adjust to using and understanding them in conversation?
Mm, to be honest, I've never seen such expressions that have different meaning when it comes to my country, right? So I would say like it's totally okay, right? Yeah, because I do not face or I do not really encounter people who use these gestures a lot, right? We just communicate without them.
Uh, so you don't in here you don't really use a lot of gesture like you said before. So you just
Yeah, yeah.
have to explain a lot more to them.
Or in other words, I would say like the gestures that they use are the same, are almost the same. The ones that we use in my country, right? They have the same meaning. So
Mm-hmm.
they've never used some gestures that have different meanings from
Uh,
that which is from my country. Yes.
Oh, speaking of this, I just want to ask, have you tried our local gesture? You know, the power of hand to stop a car before? It's like this.
Come again? Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that I have. So yeah, there are so many common gestures when between Mozambique and Malaysia. So
Mm.
I've never seen a different one. Yeah, I've never seen a different one. Yes.
can
All
you can ask
right.
the next question?
Yes, let's go on.
All right. The sixth question: how do you personally define time, and how has your understanding of it changed since moving to Malaysia? Considering the different time zone and culture perception of time compared to your home country.
Yeah, so it's a great matter, right? So when it comes to time zone differences, it's very, 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 very confusing, right?
Yeah.
First time when I first arrived in Malaysia, it was confusing because when I would call my relatives, they would tell me like it's morning over here, so I could not believe so. So it's sometimes it's daunting for me to manage my time properly, and I usually go to bed late. Yeah, bearing in mind that it's still early, right? Even though it's quite late, but I do go to bed late because of it. I just
Uh,
I sleep early because I bear in mind that the same zone time in my country. So this is very, very, very difficult for me to manage things. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So you are having a
So
struggle with a different time zone, right? Like
yeah,
yes,
but so far I'm a bit acquainted with it. I'm a bit
okay.
acquainted with it. Yes.
um, as you got accustomed to this, I mean, as you make like a schedule where you actually call um relative at a specific time in Malaysia.
Yes. When it comes to this time zone difference, it's a bit daunting, as I mentioned earlier. Sometimes my relatives call me when it's 1 a.m. over here. So this time, I sometimes I go to bed and I'm also awake. So if I'm awake, it's a bit easier for me to interact with them. Most of the times I cannot talk to them because of zone time difference, right? So it's very daunting for me to manage these situations.
Mm.
Yeah, because they think it's still early, okay, or they bear in mind that is the same time zone.
So
So it's
how
very
many
difficult.
hours are there different between your home country and Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Malaysia is 6 hours ahead compared to my home country.
Oh,
Yes.
if that the case, have you ever felt what? How do we say this? When you're sleeping, you suddenly call come.
Yeah. So in this case, I have to immediately pick up the call, right? Because when I talk to my relatives, I really get happy. I think that you guys have also expressed the same situation.
Yeah.
If you've been abroad, right? When you
Yes,
wanna
yes,
Yes,
talk to
yes.
your
yes,
relatives, when they
definitely.
call you, you get excited, right? So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same happens to me. So
Because of
yeah, I prefer to.
because of the different time we are having a hard time to talk to them. So when they call us, we're very happy to talk to them.
Yeah, of course, of course. So that's the
Mm.
situation that happened to me.
All right, for the next question, in your daily student life in Malaysia, do you face tough decision influenced by cultural difference? Do you often conflict with others due to different ideas?
Yeah, so in this case, I would say that in Malaysia there are two main holidays, right?
Mm.
Or there are more holidays compared to my country. So this is a bit difficult for me because I'm not a holiday lover, or I would say like celebration lover, right? So in this case, it's a very very difficult for me. I've never conflicted with others with regard to this because it's something that is related to the Malaysian culture, right? So I cannot conflict with them. So I just overlook it. So if it were possible to discuss with them about this one, yeah, I would say like, can you guys try to slow down the music, these whole things, because I do not like these things, right? So in this context, is a bit different for me to deal with these situations.
Because
Yeah,
Malaysians also love to have fun and blasting music anywhere.
Yes,
yeah.
that's
So that's the situation that really makes my brain confused. So
this is normal in Malaysia due to we being a bit more relaxed than other country.
yes,
Uh, mm,
I understand.
uh, my next question is that have you ever learned or speak um, bahasa Melayu, our
Yes,
local language?
yes, I did learn it. I took Bahasa Malay course in January this year. So it's compulsory for every international student to take it, right? So
Mhm.
there was no choice to skip it. So, or there was no worry. There was no way to skip it. So I would have to learn it. And I would say Malaysia, Bahasa Malay is straightforward compared to, is more straightforward compared to Portuguese because there is no verb tense, right? Yeah, there's
Yes.
no verb tense. Everything is the same.
Yeah, yeah.
You just use the words as they are. Yeah, the verbs
The
as
word
they
is
are.
very
If I'm not,
general, right?
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's also a very beautiful language.
Mm.
Yeah.
There
Thank
are there are
you.
also some common vocabulary. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? What is the common
Uh,
vocabulary
For
compared to your
instance, you
language?
guys ball, you guys baller, say baller, which is ball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Bola is
we
ball.
as Portuguese, yeah, we as Portuguese speakers also say baller.
Oh, in Portuguese also bola.
oh, bola.
Yeah, baller. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I might not remember others, but the common words or the correct, the exact example that I have in mind right now is that one, baller.
I see. Bola. Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah,
We also
It's
share
quite
the same
interesting.
word.
Yeah. I think that if I'm not mistaken, someone told me that there are some Portuguese speakers in Malaysia, aren't there?
I'm sorry, but I may don't know who that is.
Yeah, I think it's called Malacca or some region in Malaysia. There is a
Oh,
state here within
Oh,
Malaysian territory
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
some
Melaka,
Portuguese speakers
Melaka.
can be found. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah. That's
mm.
Malacca, right?
Melaka, Melaka. In Melaka, there are a lot
Yeah.
of Portuguese descendants there.
Yes.
Yeah. In addition to that, one day I did talk to someone uh, who's from Malaysia, but he can speak Portuguese fluently.
Wow.
Oh,
So he
So
maybe
that
have
was fine.
all the generation from the Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he told me that he was from Malaysia.
Oh, maybe he learned the
Yes, yes.
Portuguese from his grandmother or great grandmother. Maybe it's a tradition in
Yeah,
his
yeah,
family. Since maybe he's also a Malacanese.
yeah. It could be true. It could be true. So is that all? Is that
Uh,
all?
there's
Not
more. There's
really.
more. There's a few more
Are
questions.
there any questions? Yeah, yes, yes. Go ahead, go ahead.
All right. Should we start with this one? What do you love most about living in Malaysia? And there any specific aspect of it? For example, culture, environment, or lifestyle
Uh,
that make you feel especially connected to the country.
as a foreigner, I would say like I really love living in Malaysia because of the religion. First of all, yeah. So when I got this opportunity to come here, I got excited as well, right? Like I'm going to live in a Muslim country, so that blew my mind away. So and another thing that I love over here is about the food. The food is quite nice, even though it's very very spice or is spicier compared to the Mozambican food one, right? But I do love it. I do love it. Yeah. So in addition to that, there are some things that also I do like here, such as some touristic local places over here, right? There are a lot of touristic places, such as in Ipoh. One day I went there with my friends, and there is another one place called Lost World, where we have had
Oh,
fun and so on. So that blew my mind away as well. So living in Malaysia is quite good. It's quite good. I love it.
it
I
was
love it.
fun. The Lost World of Tamban is the one of the best water park in Malaysia. What is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other places that have you been in Malaysia?
So another place that I've been here is called, I don't remember exactly its name, but it's in Ipoh. It's like a mountainous place with a lot of mountains. You understand what I mean?
Oh, I understand what you mean. A
Um,
lot of mountains.
Yeah, yeah,
It may be
yeah.
the
There are some lakes, some trees,
oh,
mountains, lakes.
maybe it's
Yeah,
called
the man.
Tasik Cermin. Is it Tasik Cermin?
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could be the same one, right? I
Uh,
don't exactly remember where it was, but it's really, really, really beautiful. I love it.
I see. There,
Yes, yes.
there is also maybe you can try to go to the other part of Malaysia like Terengganu. Terengganu have a lot of beaches, and you will
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you will have fun in there because there is also a lot of other food like they have many kind of food like right there, and you can explore the food right there. There is one called keropok leko, and you should try that because it was very good in Terengganu. Because keropok leko in other states in Malaysia are not the same in as the same in they have in Terengganu.
I love nasi goreng or daging.
Oh, nasi goreng daging very good. I also love nasi
oh,
goreng
that's good.
daging.
Uh, Speaking of food, have you tried satay in Malaysia?
Come again, please.
Have you tried satay in Malaysia?
So what is that?
Satay is like
It's
it's
a meat in a stick.
yeah,
Sorry.
and then they use
Uh,
charcoal to burn it.
mm, over the
It's a
fire.
it's a traditional food that commonly have in Malaysia. In Seri Iskandar also have in front. Do you know Klinik Anda? Klinik Anda. Do you know Klinik Anda in Seri Iskandar?
No, I don't.
No, you
So
don't.
what is it like?
It's
What is
like
it like, the food? Can you describe it?
it's like in a stick. They put meat in the stick and then they burn it, and then they have a special sauce which called sambal kacang or kuah kacang, and it's very good. And you should try. I will try to bring you there one day.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. I've seen it. I think so.
Yeah. That is the most legendary food in Malaysia, where you can
So,
find in every
by the way,
state. What?
sorry. May I ask you a question, please?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you mean.
The, this is an assignment for you guys, right?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
So you are going to submit, and I think that your professor would like to see the people who's being interviewed.
Uh,
All right?
Yeah.
uh, yeah, this just make it more natural.
Mhm.
Come again?
Yes, it make it more natural. After all, uh, the lecturer don't want to see the what we call it, the scripted one.
The lecturer doesn't like to see the scripted one interview.
Like the voice call one, right? He wanna see the image itself.
Mm.
But I think he's okay with it. I think he's okay with it. It's okay.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Raikal?
All right. There's one more question, or should be the last. How do you balance your cultural identity while adapting to Malaysian custom? Do you ever feel pressure to conform, or do you try to maintain your own cultural practice?
Yeah. So with regards to that, I would say like it's very, very, very daunting for me to manage my balance identity, right? So when it comes to food, sometimes as I've said earlier, that's a lot of Malaysian dishes are very, very, very spicy, and I cannot handle them, right? So what I do, I try to cook my own food, right? My homemade one, right? So like I wanna try to live a Mozambican life over here by making some Mozambican food. So in order to revive my culture. Yeah, so sometimes, yeah, it's also daunting for me uh, to communicate with people, right? Because when I go outside, some people from outside cannot speak fluently English. So it's very difficult for me to interact with them. In this case, I also face some troubles, but I usually try to use some translator apps in order to talk to them. Yeah, as I learned Malay Bahasa, right? So I do speak a bit of it, right? And I try to say apa kabar, siapakah nama awak? Yeah, these things, right? So that I can make the conversation effective, right? Yes. Yes.
Your bahasa Melayu already sounds natural.
Yeah.
Sound like
Because
a
I've been here
local.
for a long time. Yeah, right.
So how do we say? What is your name in your language?
For instance, you mean asking question?
Yeah.
Asking what's your name?
What's
Yes.
your name
Uh, we,
in your
we say
language?
we say qual é o teu nome?
Qual é o teu nome? Oh,
Like,
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty easy, isn't it?
yeah, it's pretty easy when you learn to pronounce it.
Yeah. I think that if you guys practice more and more, you will master it.
Hmm. Raikal?
hello.
Yes.
Do you have any question, Raikal?
I
I
do
don't
want
think.
I do want to ask too. Compared to many language you have learned before, what do you rate Bahasa Melayu from what call it, medium to very high?
Yeah, I said that as I mentioned earlier, that it's compulsory or it's obligatory upon every international student to learn Bahasa Melayu after they join UTP, right? So I would have to learn it. There was no way to escape from it, right? So and it was pretty easy to learn it. It was like I would have lectures with a tutor, yeah, with a Malay tutor. So everything was very, very, very easy.
I see.
Which part is more difficult? Speaking or writing? In
I
your
would say
opinion?
writing. Yeah, the spelling is quite confusing.
Yes,
Writing is
definitely.
more, yes.
Many.
Sometimes, but I've
Uh,
never practiced listening. But I believe it's also daunting.
Hmm.
quite hard to. It's the same for other language too. if I'm being honest.
Come
So
again, please.
it's also the same for other language to for us to learn other language too. But we as Malaysia do adapt really fast.
Yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah, yeah. I don't understand. Okay, okay, I understand.
as you met this guy, go abroad, suddenly he come back with an accent. Somehow is speechless.
Yeah, I understand, understand. So that's very good. That's very good to hear.
Because in Malaysia we have a lot of languages, but in your country I guess it have more languages more than us, right? Because in Malaysia it's just
Yeah, of course, of course.
in Malaysia we learn bahasa Melayu, bahasa English, which is English language, Mandarin, and Indian. That is the four most used language in Malaysia.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. So, as in Mozambique or in my country specifically, there are too many languages.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but the official one is Portuguese, right?
Portuguese.
So alongside with it, there are some dialects that if I were to mention, it may take you too long.
Because
It may
there
too
are
long, yes, yes,
very a lot of language. Correct.
yes, yes.
So I guess we are done with the interview question. So
Yes.
would you like to share anything with us?
Yeah, so far so good. I don't have anything to share with you guys. Yeah, if you have it, please go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Any question? So good, right?
Yes, so far so good.
Yeah. So is there any question? No, no.
We thank you for your cooperation. That's
It's okay. It's okay. No worries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Yeah, just call me Adam because that's my father. Yes,
yes,
yes.
definitely simpler.
Okay. 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 Even though I did not show my face, but I will apologize for that, right? I'm too shy. Sorry, sorry for that.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So next time, so just. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.